Okay.
Good, good, good. The recording is going on.
Doesn't matter. I am not using it.
Nice to see you all.
Yeah. It's true. Oh, I can see Motilal.
I am really nervous now. Well, it is supposed to be why mathematics, but all of you are accomplished mathematicians. So it is, what's the point? I don't know. But anyway.
Is everyone
सर आपनकर सब आमे पो माने पो झियो माने आपनकर पो झियो आपनकर कंस्ट्रक्शन मैथमेटिक्स हमको कंस्ट्रक्ट करिछि
नहीं से अलगा कथा ठीक मजा हो किंतु कथा होची वर्तमान मते जो टॉपिक टा कहली व्हाई मैथमेटिक्स सेटा तो यू हैव ऑलरेडी द रीजंस to for which you are there in mathematics and you have made your mark. And anyway,
Martha arambha kariya. Yeah, we'll start. Okay. So good morning all of you. समस्त मोर नमस्कार मु समस्त पुणी अनुरोध करिवि समस्त टिके मोबाइल ये स्विच ऑफ रखिबे ऑडियो एंड वीडियो जतले क्वेश्चन आवर हबा आपण ऑडियो आपण ऑन करके पुणी कहि परिबे you will switch on your audio when you want to raise the question at the end. So let us start. We are already delayed by 20 minutes. So again I welcome to all to this talk which quite few days before Dr. Tarakant Nayak, the associate professor at Bhubaneswar, who really started this idea that why not to have a talk by Swadhin sir. Then I told yes we can do. So then quickly he was telling, then I was telling okay I will make a poster, you can edit it, and within 5 days we made it. So that's why we couldn't make registration and we couldn't plan also for YouTube live streaming. So we know that it will be more than 250. So we thought that this is the first time and let us see how it is going. So that's what the talk is today by our beloved sir, Professor Swadhin Pattanayak. And before that, let me invite Dr. Tarakant to tell few words about this outreach and what he thought, and then that's what this talk we started. So Tarakant, I welcome you to speak a few lines.
आज्ञा समस्त को मोर नमस्कार तेणु जेहेतु बहुत डेरी है मुझे संक्षिप्त कथा रखुची जे सारंकर स्वाधीन सारंकर बहुत संख्यार प्रशंसक अच्छा बोली आम जानूँ विश्वास करचु किंतु सार जो विचार प्रतीक जे आम पाखे जहाँ अच्छी समाज को आम केते मात्रा रे आ केते प्रकार रे देई परिबा से जो विचार माने गोटे परिप्रकाश होची आरएमटीएस आम मानक भितर अनेक से विचारटा केमती बंची रहिबो सारंकर से लिगासी ओडिशार गाँव पिला मानकू गाँ रु आनिकी पाठ पढ़ी भल जगार उपस्थापित करिवार जो निशा जो सार आम मान पाखे आज एत प्रिय एत सम्मान पात्र से लिगासी केमिति बंची रहिबो सार से जो कथा को आमे केमती कंटिन्यू करि परिबा यही कथा को नहीं कि आमे किछि दिन तळे किछि कॉलेज शिक्षक ओडिसा रो कथावार्ता होतिलु एवं सेथिरु ए प्रकार गोटे टॉक रो परिकल्पना हला एवं आज सेटा होबाकु जाउची सेथिरे मुख्यतः संबलपुर रो प्रियव्रत रायगड़ा ऑटोनोमस कॉलेज रो अमिय लरंभा कॉलेज रो मुकेश निरेन राजेश रतन शिवा मल्लिक झरणा और मिहिर एमती अनेक कॉलेज शिक्षक माने कथावार्ता परे जे आमे ओडिसा रे गोटे सिस्टमैटिकली गोटे डेडिकेटेड आउटरीच कार्यक्रम करिबा एवं तार आरंभटा जदि हबो सेटा स्वाधीन सारक माध्यम रे हबा दरकार एमती गोटे कथा आसला तापर सार संगे कथा हवा सार बहुत खुशी रे राजी हेले तेणु से आयोजन रो आज माने कॉन्सिक्वेंस आज हम सार को सुनिया को चाहूचे जाउचे एवं आ गोटे भल कथा जे हम बहुत दिन पर परस्पर को देखि परचे गोटे बहुत समस्त मुहरे खुशी अछि तेणु मो कथा को एतिक रखुची मार्था तापर आगे जा
Thank you, Tarakant. Now, let me tell you about another person, Professor Srinivas Kotiada, who is now professor at Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai, and he did his PhD from BFR Mumbai in 1995. And he was a student during MSc and MPhil of Professor Pattanayak. And he is not only one of the students, many students was motivated and inspired by Professor Pattanayak. And when I was doing MSc at Sambalpur University, and when in the evening when we are coming out from the department, and if Sir is coming, if Swadhin Sir is coming, then we usually walk with him, and then he gave immediately the person name is Professor Srinivas. Like he did PhD, can you go to a IIT to do the PhD? That's what many people like me, we are at different places. So I request Professor Srinivas to introduce about Professor Pattanayak, about few lines.
Thank you, Martha. So my dear teachers, students and friends, Samastanku Namaskar. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce today's speaker, my teacher, my guru, Professor Swadhin Sir. I'm sure all of you know him. Those who are new to this, who have joined, all of you know him or heard about him. I'm sure about it. Therefore, I don't think Swadhin Sir requires much introduction. As you all know, the Institute of Mathematics and Application, IMA, was his brainchild. He served as founding director. He has been and still he is a constant source of inspiration for generation of students. Because of him, large number of students from Odisha, me included, as Martha said, took up mathematics as a career, and I'm happy to say that they are doing quite well. So Sir is not just a mathematician or a good teacher, he is in fact an institution in himself. Those who are new, we should meet him to feel it. It will not be an exaggeration if I say that Swadhin Sir has succeeded in bringing substantial positive change in the mathematical scene of Odisha. Inspired by Swadhin Sir, many younger mathematicians are trying in their own way to contribute their bit now. It's time that we should contribute now, take the mantle from Sir and take it forward. And this is the first online attempt. Okay, that some well-wishers of Odisha like Professor Tarakanto, Professor Martha and all, and the team, okay, they tried with a plan to reach out deserving students and teachers of Odisha to expose them to good mathematics, to show them the beauty of mathematics. I really thank and congratulate Tarakanto and Martha and their team for such a noble initiative. So, since all of us are eager to hear Professor Pattanayak, Swadhin Sir, so I will not take much time in formal introduction, because his introduction is his own personality, his own. We're listening to him. Those who are new, they will know what he is, what kind of charisma he has. The coming generations, I'm sure they will wonder that such a person existed in this, in this earth. So, sir, I'm quite happy to invite you for the inaugural session of this outreach program. Kindly start your talk, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Srinivas, for your very good introduction. I'm really overwhelmed by your introduction. Now, the idea why I chose this topic, why mathematics, that grows out of some experience. Once I went to Monkey College, where I was lecturing. At the end of the lecture, one girl asked me, what if we abolish analysis from mathematics course? This tells that means perhaps it has not been taught well, or nobody has told them that this is a part of a program which makes you to learn many things. So that is something which we are perhaps missing, so that many people are not interested in mathematics or being put off by mathematics. So mathematics is something which is organic in the sense it grew out of man's necessity to understand nature. Now, as we want to know better and better nature, we need to have better ways of understanding it, and mathematics is that. Now, look at this. Man first discovered, used numbers to describe plurality. But enumeration became necessity when he progressed from hunting stage, when man goes to settled life like river valley civilizations. There he is not only interested in numbers, he is also interested in shapes. And shapes, why? Now, for example, all the river valley civilizations we know of had bricks, and bricks are all rectangular parallelepiped or square-shaped parallelepiped. So, which shows they had already known what is the shape, and no wonder that 3 square plus 4 square equal to 5 square, and a host of these so-called Pythagorean triple were discovered in Babylonian clay tablets as old as 3,000 years old, or maybe 4,000 years old. And what were they doing this? They knew how to relate numbers with shapes. That is how to make a right angle. And without right angles, they could not make bricks, could not make things. This is something which is the first step towards relating numbers with shapes. Then the next step was motion. That is something which has confused many people for a long time. Now, for example, why they needed motion? Once he took to farming, he depended on the weather conditions. And that means weather conditions, time, and how to measure time. His unit of time was sunrise to sunrise is 1 unit. Other usually the conditions that after maybe weather conditions return, but another 12, if you go, let's say 12 plus 12 plus 12, maybe 72 full moons, weather conditions change drastically. So there is something wrong in reckoning time. So then he added another 11 days.
Sir, your face is not visible.
Yes.
And audio is also very poor. Now it is visible. A little bit more, sir. Little bit more.
Okay, now can you hear?
Your face is not completely
visible. Okay, can you? Is it visible?
Yeah.
Or I have become invisible of late?
Slightly. Once half the half your face is visible. You see.
Now is it visible?
Little more.
Now?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
No, you have to lift your face up. Or you're using mobile or laptop?
Mobile. I don't have, my laptop has bugged. It is not working. I can't go to repair it.
I mean, see, sir, your half only up to your nose it's visible, upper portion. So maybe you have to tilt a little bit down.
Now,
it's slightly better.
Okay.
It's better. It's better. Yeah.
Okay.
So please speak loudly. Sorry for interruption.
Okay. No, it's all right.
Yeah.
So that is how it is. First thing, numbers, then shapes, then motion. Motion was something which, I mean, initially it was, what was motion? Associating time with numbers. So what we call as distance. And initially it was only angular distance. He didn't have, or he didn't know how to do it for linear distances. But he knew this. Now, that is how astronomy came. And to know this astronomy, he had to have better tools. Trigonometry, spherical trigonometry, and also this is one aspect of this, why mathematics. Then in the meantime, people also started doing with numbers. And the peculiarities of numbers themselves intrigued many. Leading to various interesting things like, then eventually to Fermat, where numbers were put in equations. Now that, of course, I should mention Descartes here, because he introduced how to put numbers and geometry together. That's how it is. Now, then the old controversy whether Earth is going around Sun or Sun is going around Earth, that was settled only after Copernicus. But before that, some Indian mathematicians or astronomers did tell about Earth's motion. Not quite revolution, but a rotation definite. Aryabhatta was there who said this. But anyway, Newton and Galileo is a very crucial transition, because Galileo studied motion very carefully indeed. And contemporary was Kepler, who studied the motion of planets and stated the Kepler's laws. But Newton's contribution was singular because for example, Galileo studied the laws of falling bodies very carefully indeed. But yet, he never asked the question, why? And why a body falls. But Newton did ask that question. Whether he was sitting under an apple tree and apple fell on his head or not, that's a story. The thing is, he had to ask this question because he had what you call as the three laws of motion very well established, formulated. That is, a body at rest remains at rest till an external force acts on it. And that is something very crucial. Now, apple was on the tree at rest and it moves. Unless he invents gravitation, his law of inertia would just collapse. And to do this, he had to, that is where the study of motion became more important, and Newton had to discover calculus. Well, I know there are other claimants to calculus in India, like Varahami, no, not Varahami, Bhaskara too. And they did develop a little, quite a lot, but somehow it tapered off after some time. After up to Nilakantha, it went on and then tapered off. But anyway, this is how mathematics develops, and mathematics becomes necessary everywhere. Be it, for example, once Hardy said that mathematics is useful in its utter uselessness. It means mathematics which is pure, which finds no application, is good, because otherwise if you apply it, you will use it for destructive purpose. But what did people do? Even the purest of the pure mathematics, number theory, is used for cryptography, for hacking, and things are like this. So it is how it is. That is something which you can never avoid. But unfortunate thing is, we think we can do away with mathematics, and that is very sad. Look at this. Look at the International Olympiad results. What is our position? It is hardly ever more than 15 in the rank. Why is that? And that is why I thought of this RMTS, because recall how the International Mathematics Olympiad started. In 1894, there was a person called Edwards in Hungary who used to have a prize for mathematics, some people doing some mathematics. Every year he used to distribute this prize, those who were good solvers. And you will be surprised to know, but perhaps you know it already, some of the best mathematicians of Hungary were recipients of this prize, like Reis, like Feyer, and even von Neumann, and Szilard, who became a physicist. Like this, I don't know, name is really long. And this was going on in Hungary till the Second World War. During Second World War, it stopped. After the war ended, the East European countries, including USSR, adopted it, and they used to keep it within themselves. Some sort of a competition, not only in Hungary, but in all the East European countries. And that was continuing till 1957, because 1957 is the period, is the year in which first artificial satellite was launched. And the Western world, which was blissfully unaware of development of mathematics behind the Iron Curtain, found that they have been taken unawares. So after that, they started revising their mathematics. My supervisor, Douglas, told me that he read mathematics as getting a fellowship from NATO to learn mathematics at undergraduate. That is how it was. And in 1959, the International Mathematical Olympiad came, and then you know what has happened. And since that time, the West has been, and particularly US, has been taking a lot of interest in mathematics, and that's why you find their rank in the Olympiad has been so. This we must disseminate, and idea of RMTS was that because by ignoring the rural mathematics, we're ignoring almost 75% of the population. And that is why it is imperative that we take care to reach out to people who are marginalized, who are at the margin of the society, whom we think as if they don't exist, or whom we think are dispensable. And that is what one has to understand, that these are not dispensable, these are not the things. And in fact, our weakness would be known more by our weakest points rather than by strongest points. So anyway, this is all I think I can tell you now, because now you can ask me questions, I can answer. Now that all of you have assembled, I'd be very thankful if you can, some of you, send me the email IDs of all of you, so that once in a way I can contact.
Sir, there is a question someone asked here in the chat box, that how can we use mathematics in agriculture and spirituality?
How can you use mathematics in agriculture and
Spirituality, Adhyatma.
Oh, what is spirituality? I really don't know.
That was the
I really
question.
don't know what is spirituality. Unless we are meaning those who use a lot of spirits. But anyway, mathematics in agriculture, well, it's obvious. I said it is obvious, because in farming, as I told you, you need, it is because of the farming that mathematics developed that fast.
Sir, again you have become invisible.
Huh?
Again you are becoming invisible.
Invisible.
Yeah, it's
So now,
सर आउ गोटे प्रश्न आसिला
uh,
जे प्रोफेसर राकेश महांती VSSUT बुर्लर पचारे is there any standard mathematical model to measure learning skill?
that I don't know. There is nothing like standard mathematical model to measure the learning skill. I really don't know. Perhaps the Olympiad type questions may be one of them. But for example, before we had this Olympiad issue, now I think it is still is available in the net, or we can buy them.
सॉरी सर आप
Hungarian
मोबाइल
pattern
टिके
books.
मूव करंतु देले देखा जीवो
अच्छा,
मोबाइल टिके एपट सेपट करंतु देले देखा जीवो हां टिके देखा जाउ हां 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 यस यस यस
ये बताओ जी, Hungarian problem books. In our younger days, they were the only books we ever saw. They are very nice books, but elementary mathematics is there, but which involves a little thinking. One can try those things. I mean, what Professor Mahanti is asking is that yes, that is you can perhaps do these things. That's the way to, because you see, it is not only mathematics is useful for other areas. Doing mathematics itself, it has been shown, helps keep your brain active, and it also inhibits aging, delays aging. That is what I've heard.
सर आउ गोटे प्रश्न सोनपुर कॉलेज रो जन सर पचारचंती जयकांत बेहरा सर व्हाट इज द बेस्ट एप्लीकेशन ऑफ रियल एनालिसिस वी कैन से टू आवर स्टूडेंट्स?
Oh yeah, that's a very good question.
Again.
Now, first thing first, the real analysis starts with, you can say, convergence. Convergence is how to get the best, better and better approximation to something which you cannot perhaps reach, but you can get better and better approximation. That is one. Next is idea of continuity. Continuity is something which you can say a transformation which preserves convergence. Next is differentiation. Differentiation is a crucial thing. What is differentiation anyway? What is differentiability anyway? If you draw the graph of a function, if it is a differentiable function, or where it is differentiable, if you look at a very small part of it, it looks like almost like a line segment. That is the whole idea. Where locally it will depend on, it will be believed as if it is varying linearly. The increment is proportional to, increment in the dependent variable is proportional to the increment in the independent variable. Locally, it is not always. If it is always, then it will be just linear. Y equal to x plus b. But that is how it should look locally. So, and once derivative is there, differentiation is there, you have rate Bessel, you have tangents, your entire kind of mechanics becomes accessible to you. motion. And then, of course, series, for example, Fourier series, why was it necessary? Wanted to understand how heat flows, and wanted to understand how does a string vibrate, and to understand vibration of strings and heat flow, Fourier series, a trigonometric series was invented. And then, like that, I mean, yes, the professor from Sonpur, I would like to talk to him again. Maybe separately. If I get his address, I'll talk to him.
Okay. Sir, another question from probably a student, it is that what is the way to learn mathematics? Is it to do mathematics rapidly? It seems to be a question from a student here.
It is like this. It is like this. The only way to learn how to swim is to get into water. No matter how much of theory of swimming you understand will help you. So, best way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. Try with small, easy things, then go to harder, 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 and harder. You can start with easy things, then go for harder things, then harder things, then harder things.
Sir, I would have a question. There is another question from Mukesh, one of the very dedicated teachers of mathematics. Mukesh from Loramba College.
Yeah.
The question is, sir, what is the role of a teacher to increase the interest in mathematics?
Well, the thing is, if the teacher is inspiring, if he can make it appear to be taught that it is interesting, and the more you learn, the more things you learn, you are better off and you enjoy it more and more, then that is the best way to make mathematics a good mathematics teacher. If it becomes drab and just mechanical, then the student may be put off. So, my contention has been always start from easy things, go to harder, 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 harder things.
Sir, another question by Pinaki Prasad Kaur is that many students are afraid of mathematics from their childhood. How to motivate them?
You see, that is the point. Point is, KN and mathematics don't go together. ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହିଲେ ବେତ ଆଉ ଗଣିତ ଏକାଠି ହେବା କଥା ନୁହେଁ। Actually, I have heard from a person who was a scientist in DRDO, and he was a physicist. He said, till class 7, he never attended mathematics classes because the teacher was very cruel to him, and he used to just whip him if he committed mistakes and other things. So after class 7, somebody somehow got him interested in mathematics. I mean, at least showed him how to do mathematics, and that is how he went for science and did physics. But if you associate mathematics with whipping, caning, torture, definitely it won't be.
Sir, next
Because
Next.
because our old saying, spare the rod and spoil the child. That is false.
Sir, there is another question. That is what is the reason behind for not having the mathematics culture in our country like European countries? How to create the curiosity about mathematics among my students?
That is very unfortunate.
That is
That
by
is very
Ajay
unfortunate
Gadfeld.
because we had very good mathematics culture, even in our childhood have seen, where even if it was not a very hard mathematics, but riddles, mathematical riddles were very current amongst us. Mathematical riddles, and there used to be challenges between people, between students, boys and boys, and things like that. But unfortunately, somehow that fun part of mathematics vanished. I don't know how, because mathematics usually it should come as a fun. If, for example, if you tell me, I didn't do very well in mathematics till class 7. And it was thought that I am not good at mathematics. So perhaps I'm still not very good at mathematics. But I wanted to learn mathematics because I wanted to learn many things using that.
Sir,
Like that.
Sir, there is a very relevant and important question by Brindavan from Niger. He's asking, sir, what is your advice, suggestion, or steps to be taken for the next generation of mathematicians from Odisha to develop mathematics and science in Odisha, in particular in school, college, and universities?
Well, okay, I mean, I am not the chief minister, not a policy maker, definitely, but I still think what Brindavan is asking is very relevant because we have a role. We have a role. In spite of not being in position to decide the policy, we can change the situation by trying at our level to interact with people. Once there was a Russian lady who used to visit our institute. She told me that what Kolmogorov used to do. Kolmogorov used to go to countryside, pick up children, and find out some good children, ones who are interested, bring them to Moscow, train them in mathematics, and send them back. And used to do like this. So that is how USSR developed such a good mathematical culture. That was what I was told by a Russian lady. And that is Kolmogorov is responsible for that. So like that, even if we don't, it is not within our mandate because you see, as professors in university or institutes, we are supposed to teach and do research. Okay. Teach whom? Well, obviously the ones who have been admitted to our institute. But that is another aspect, what is called extension, which you don't do. Try to extend it to nearby, to at least your neighborhood, as much as you can. Maybe because now that we have about 250 people, why not we make some arrangement of 4, 5 for one locality within one vicinity to periodically visit schools and colleges and interact with the children. That could be one of the ways. And I have tried this and it has worked. How about that?
Yes, sir.
How about this?
Sir, actually, some of us are in process of doing it very systematically, of course, with your guidance, and we'll talk to you. Though we have started in some way, but we think we should do it in a systematic way so that it can deliver in a within a time frame.
Yeah.
So
now that it should be more decentralized, because
yes,
now Odisha has a population of about 4 crore and spread over a large area. So one person or one group cannot visit every place.
Yeah.
We can have so many groups in so many areas so that we can have interaction between our groups like this, or once in a way maybe the groups meet together. But that was my idea when I suggested this Pathani Samanta Medhavrutti Anveshana on Medhavrutti for the colleges and for school children. Idea was it is not only a vritti, not only a scholarship, but also some sort of training should be given to these people who got it. And that was not possible. That is not possible with 7th, because there are about 7,000 scholarships which are being disbursed. 7,000 people cannot be brought to Bhubaneswar for training or any place.
Yeah.
The best way is to divide them into maybe 100 groups or 50 groups, and accordingly teach or train teachers locally of each locality so that they can do the needful. That didn't happen. So we can do that. Let government do or not, it doesn't matter. We don't depend on them. Let's do that.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So almost the same question by Professor Tirlochan Sahu from IIT Kharagpur. Which question was, what is your advice to the younger generation of mathematicians for promotion of the mathematics in Odisha and how to create more mathematicians? So mostly you have answered.
I don't know. I don't think I have an answer, just in my pocket. But for example, in last 10 years of Institute of Mathematics, we have produced at least 70 to 80 boys and girls doing PhD in mathematics. And that too with minimal support. Akshay is there. He will testify the tribulations of the director of the institute in doing anything like that. But despite all odds, this could be done. So now the thing is, at some stage, the child has to think that, well, it is also a worthwhile purpose.
Okay, sir. Should I proceed for the next question?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so it is from Lipsita Patro. The question is, I am curious to know how you prepare yourself for a lecture or an important talk that you have to deliver. Would be great if you could share some tips for aspiring lecturers.
Yeah, that is the point. Thing is, I will recount my experience with my first experience in Sambalpur University, I mean, of which witness is Akshay. You know what happened? In my first semester, they found that what this man is talking is really not meaningful, or it is important. But gradually, they found out, it is not all nonsense, and they started enjoying it. So the thing is, what I was trying to do was this. It is not to repeat verbatim what is there in the book. Well, if I have to repeat it, I can ask him to read the book. The thing is, we must motivate why we should read it at all in the first place. And from one thing to other, one question leads to another question. This question leads to another question. That is how it should be. So it is not a textbook to be repeated in the classroom. Well, textbook is a guide. Textbook is something which is, some sort of basis on which you will do it. But that is not verbatim repetition of the textbook. So, Ipsita, are you answered?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Now I kind of understand.
Where are you?
So,
Where are you?
So it's Lipsita Patro. I'm from Cuttack, Odisha.
Where are you?
Cuttack.
Where are you? Which college? Which school?
So I'm a student. So I'm a student at Ravenshaw University. I'm pursuing my masters. It's my final year.
Oh, good.
So you've been there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You've been there, and we've met, sir. It's been a total honor.
Yeah, but you have found you have attended at least 1 or 2 lectures of mine. How did you find them?
Yeah. Yes, sir. They are very inspiring and motivational, sir. I have been a part of all the lectures that you've done during my time at Ravenshaw.
Yeah. So that's good. So you know how it is done, and you can improve on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I've really wanted to know that what is the correct approach that you could impart knowledge to students that you have.
Start from the scratch and gradually motivate it all the way. Every time it becomes a question. Answer leads to another question. Another one question leads to answer to question to answer, like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, I think Professor Das Verma is here from the beginning, from USA. It is midnight for him. Is there any question, Professor Das Verma, from your side?
Oh, Sandeep, you should be sleeping now. Sandeep, it's a time for you to sleep. I'll ask Leela to put more control on you. Sandeep, how did you come here? You are not my student or my teacher. How did you come here? You are neither my student nor my teacher. How did you come here?
Well, I was watching what technique are you using to, make each person you have inspired into another source of inspiration for many others.
No, I believe for 250.
Sandeep sir, you are not audible. Sandeep sir.
Sandeep, please, you are not audible. Please speak loudly.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you at least.
Okay. You know, if each of you decide to go back to your school and, you know, just first appreciate your teacher who inspired you in the high school or primary
Sir,
school.
your sir, I think voice is out of mic. That's why it is not properly coming.
Should I switch to my iPhone? Because I'm speaking on the computer. I don't know why it is not. Can you
Yeah,
hear me now?
microphone would be better. Headphone would be better.
Microphone. Well, it will be an interruption, and you are almost on and
No,
off.
but I can hear.
Okay.
I can hear.
Can you? Okay. What I am saying is, you know, Swadhin is one guy who inspired so many. Each one of you can emulate him. And in 10 years, Odisha will be the center of mathematics in India. Does it make sense? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are able to hear you, sir.
Okay. So that is what we are trying. And each time Indra is probably here, he would know that we are trying to do something to the Institute of Mathematics to bring it back to normal, and there are others involved in it. Let us see, but on your part, each one of you could make people conscious about mathematics. Maybe those who are professors amongst you write an article in Oriya newspaper saying how important mathematics is to science and technology. You know, Europe or Russia, for that matter, did not come to this place. And today, China is actually replacing them in a large way. You know, they did the thing like going through mathematics. Basic mathematics was first, which is learned, and then ideas come, innovations come, applied mathematics becomes engineering. So I think that each of you have the potential, if you keep your mind straight. There are personal achievements. At the same time, societal achievements also you could do. And that inspiration, of course, comes from inside. I don't know inner voice telling you, but I think if you look at it carefully, you will see that social consciousness will come from inside. Thank you. I think I have over
Yeah.
time.
No. You're supposed to sleep now, so better go to sleep.
So we need everybody's help to take mathematics forward. Starting from Revensa University student, I would have liked it to be called Revensa College still, because I am an alumni, but it's called university, okay, but that her to everybody, we want that to happen. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, Tarakanto, now you can take it forward.
There are no other questions I see in the chat box.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. I'm Nagmani, sir. Do you remember me? Swadhin, sir?
Nagmani. Okay, good.
Sir.
Nice to see you after many days.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I know Nagmani, of course.
Yeah, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just raise your question. Sari is audible. Raise your question.
Yeah. So my question, actually, I had asked this question was when I was pursuing when I was in IMA. But again, I got the same question. I'm putting it to you because that time it wasn't clear to me. So actually, what is the difference, actual difference between analysis and algebra, and where they play an equal role in mathematics? Is it possible to explain?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes.
You asked me a very good question.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Once, long ago, when I was teaching in Sambalpur University, in the first class, I asked the students that what's the difference between analysis and algebra? What is the essential difference? Then one girl said, well, in analysis you have many theorems, and in algebra you don't have. So that's the difference. Well, then I said, if I tore half the number of theorems from analysis, it will become algebra. No. So it's not like that. You see, analysis and algebra differ in this, that algebra, you do these 4 operations somehow. You know, if it is a group, it is only 1 operation. A ring, it is 2 operations.
Yes, sir.
In a field, all 4 operations.
Yes.
But these operations are used finitely many times. Since you can do it twice, you can do it thrice, you can do it 4 times, 5 times, n times. You can do it finitely many times. So everything that you do in algebra involves finitely many times. Processes are finitely many. Whereas in analysis, what you call as the limiting process. 1 plus half, yes, plus 1/4 plus 1/8 plus 1/16, etc. No matter how long you add, it never becomes 2. But still you write limit, and what's the meaning of this limit? So the idea of limit makes analysis different from algebra. That doesn't mean that they don't have interaction. It's not that east is east and west is west and never the twins shall meet. It is not like that. They have interaction among themselves. But the difference is this, that here limiting processes are involved, whereas in algebra, you involve finitely many processes.
Yes.
Does it answer your question?
Yes,
I guess partially.
No, yes.
Nagmani, where are you now?
Sir, I am about to submit my thesis, sir. PhD thesis.
From South Asia?
No, sir. From IIT. From IIT ISM Dhanbad.
Oh, good.
Yes, sir.
Dhanbad.
Yeah, yes, sir. And sir, I have another question, if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah.
Sir?
What is it?
So actually, throughout India, whenever I used to attend some conference, I have seen a lot of mathematical progress, a lot of mathematical institutions even. But when I think about the statistical institutions, we are very less in amount. Why is this, sir?
Oh, ISI, Indian Statistical Institute.
But sir, statistical institutions are quite less in India rather than mathematical institutions. Why is this, sir? Or can we bring them together?
Well, in fact, the Indian Statistical Institute is also known for its contribution to mathematics also. If you know it or not, that one of the alumni of ISI who did his PhD from ISI got the Nobel Prize in mathematics. Now he is in New York State University of New York University. But that is Varadan. Okay. And you know, there are 3 people, Parsarati, Varadarajan and Rangarao. They wrote a paper in Annals when they were students in ISI. Annals of Mathematics, that is supposed to be the highest honor a mathematician gets, for the highest level of achievement. And they wrote a paper which in fact was quite seminal in the sense people referred to as a conjecture which they made there called the PRD conjecture, and it took at least 20 years to settle the conjecture. So that is possible. It is called Indian Statistical Institute incidentally, but it is also an institute of mathematics and also computer science.
Yes, sir.
There are very good computer scientists in Indian Statistical Institute.
Okay, sir. Thank
So,
you very much.
sir, there are some questions about what are the best books for NET, JRF, for JEE?
Best books.
Yeah.
Well, if I were to have my way, I would never have JEE in the first place. JEE is really spoiling a host of children. Because you see, if JEE, some million children or more appear for JEE. But how many of them can get selected? Only 10,000. So, chance of somebody getting is how much? 1 in 100. So, what happens to the rest of 99? They come out as a frustrated lot. So, this has been very unfortunate that we haven't have a JEE at all. But we have it. You know, you have been abroad and you know it. Besides India, there is no country where you have an institute which is exclusively for engineering only, exclusively for engineering. You know, in Oxford, an electrical engineer gets a degree called BA in electrical engineering. They call it BA. And Paul Dirac, was BA in electrical engineering. Because he didn't get a good job in electrical engineering, he became a physicist. So that is how it is. We unfortunately have a very rigid caste system in our academics in India. So JEE, you know, I don't have to mention. You know, some centers for coaching for the JEE, their annual revenue is 12,000 crore. What a colossal waste of resources.
Okay, sir. I think it is already 12:30. There is a question. I'll like it to be the last question. Then we'll conclude. Yeah. So this is the question from Jitendra Bari. This is a very relevant one. So he's asking, sir, can a student learn higher mathematics without teacher? Then he asks,
well, yes, why not?
So there is other part of the question.
Yes.
Yeah. So I raised this question because number of faculties in State University of Odisha are very poor. So I request you to all to do something for this. And sir, what is your advice for the students who suffering this type of situation?
Well, if I could meet the students, that would be a different question. But the thing is, okay, first thing first, they have to read their own books first, not wait for the teacher to speak in the class. Teachers may not speak, may not be able to deliver as much as you want. So, best thing is to culture it yourself. consult other people when you can. Maybe your peers, maybe your friends, maybe your seniors, or somebody whom you know. But you can see if all of us who are here, I think our experience has been, all of us have learned mathematics all by ourselves. Mostly. We have attended schools, colleges, etc. No doubt. But mostly, most of mathematics we have learned are all by our own effort. Is it not? So, that's how it is.
Okay, Martha, you can ask Priyabrot to thank everyone and we can conclude. It is already 12:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Priyabrot, you can start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the whole team, it's my privilege and honor to offer vote of thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
We are a little bit louder.
I have some problems here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try. So on behalf of the whole team, it's my privilege and honor to offer vote of thanks to our beloved teacher, Professor Swadhin Pattanayak sir, for his valuable and inspirational talk. I'm sure that this talk will reach in heart of our participants who are attending here this meeting, and meet our expectation or objective for we actually started this program. I also thank Professor Srinivas sir, and Professor Subhash Chandra Martha from IIT Bhubaneswar for hosting and chairing this session. And lastly, I must thank our participants from all over India as well as from outside India, Professor Sandeep Das Verma sir, Professor Tilutwar Kanigrai, Paraswara Mahanti, Professor Dr. Kumar Mitra sir, and other also who attended this meeting and encouraged us by raising various questions, which actually really needed. And I also thank especially the Bandhu team who initiated this meeting for organizing this. And I would like to announce one thing. Actually, we continue this event, and we are trying to organize one webinar on every week. So thank you all. Martha. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, it's fine, Priyavat. So, is there anything Tara to tell to?
No, we can conclude.
Yeah, thank you all for attending this talk. So we conclude the talk here.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, Allah.
Sir, कौन कहिबे बोते?
Thank you.
Sir, किछु कहिबे जाऊ?
Sir.
Now it's better. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Let's have more such meetings.
Okay, sir, अपन कौन कहिबे?
नमस्कार सर, जगमोहन.
अच्छा ताराकांत, नेक्स्ट मीटिंग केबे? नेक्स्ट लेक्चर
सर किछि भाबिनु आपण सान कथा हो.
अच्छा ठीक अछि, हमें अनाउंस करिबा. We have got all the emails and numbers na. We'll soon announce it.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
By today evening, actually, we are going to send a feedback form. So after that, I think we'll decide the next day of this meeting.
Yeah, feedback is important. Yeah, people are requested to fill up the feedback so that we will know what are the needs.
What we see here that we need more undergraduate students as a participant. So that we want to.
Yeah, I'd be thankful if you can give me the email ID of all of them.
Yeah. We are trying to collect all this email ID by contacting the teachers who are working in colleges. Actually. So our intention is to participation from college students, especially undergraduate students. And another thing is here I want to say that our program is not related to only mathematics, we also encourage the students for other branch like even from other branch. Actually, the main motto is to motivate them for health studies. So, with